yeah! This is happening!
Headtown, just sub.
To the new, the new to the old, the old to the new, the new to the old, the old to the new, the new to the old, the old to the new, the new to the old, the old to the new, the new to the old, the old to the new, the new to the old, the old to the new, the new to the old, the old to the new, the new.
Oh yeah! This is happening!
Khbbs05, just sub. Happy anniversary.
Hello? Oh, chat. Hello, sorry. I don't know how loud am I? Am I loud enough? I just made some green tea. I'm so happy. I had chicken nuggets today. I don't know about you guys. Nessa, hi! Why is that the stream title that gets me to join? I'm also wondering that, oh, hi, Peztown!
Oh, yeah!
Oh,
This is
Peztown,
happening.
thank you for the 15, dude, it's been 15 months. Oh my goodness,
sub.
thank you, Kabobber. Happy anniversary for 3 months. Bahama, thank you so much for the 13 months. Yeehaw. I love the sub renewals. Hello, friends. It is also Happy Miku Day. Happy Miku Day, friends. Hello, hello. Oh, wait, that's my cat. Hold on. Stop. Pause. We're back. We're good. We're fine. We're good. Hello. Buenas tardes. How are you guys? Dude, my bangs are finally growing back and they are looking normal. They're looking like normal Izzy bangs again, so thank God. Girl, okay, I'm not even kidding. When I got my hair cut last Wednesday, my hairstylist, because I don't like my bangs above my eyebrows because I feel like I'm not a girly who could pull off a micro bang. And my hairstylist was like, well, like she cut it to the exact perfect length. And then she goes, this looks good. And I said, well, could I get a little shorter? And she goes, are you sure you want it shorter? And I said, yeah, I think I want it a little shorter. I should have just listened to her. Like, hello? What was my damage? I think I wanted it a little shorter. And then it went like, hello? Girls, listen to your hairstylist. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. I have a how do you fucking Balatro? Punker. I know what that game is. Yeah, no, it really did. Also, hello chat. How are you tonight? I hope you did your Duolingo. I know I've been starting my stream insanely late for the past week. I promise that I'm gonna fix myself eventually. Hopefully tomorrow. But anyways, I started my stream a little late today, and there's one reason and one reason only, and I think we know why, and I'm gonna show you why in a second.
Once I dust it off a little, I'm gonna let her rip, so listen up.
Ikude is the character for 3/9 together because it's Sun Q, and 3 and 9 separate can be me and Ku. Yeah. For people who don't know, that's why Miku is represented by 3 and 9.
Like that.
That's why she also has 3 and 9 literally just everywhere and everywhere.
Like that. Like this.
Hope you guys have been well.
Like that.
Make your day before Mario Day. True, they're back-to-back days.
Like that.
I just made myself a silly little cup. Oh my god. Can we talk about something really quick? Okay. So, you know, maybe I'm just weird for this, but you know those little water heaters that in Japanese 7-Elevens? I watch a lot. Okay, this is a weird little TMI about myself, but sometimes I like to watch people vlog in Japan because I think about how I don't have that food at home and how I just want to eat that food. So instead of doing it myself, I live vicariously through vloggers. Specifically, convenience stores. I don't know why, but I look at those instant noodles and I go, wow, I really want those. Neither here or there, but you know those there's these instant water water heaters that they have at the 7-Elevens at the convenience stores in Japan, where you could just press the button and it dispenses hot water, right? It's just a hot water dispenser, and it just keeps the water hot. No, our 7-Elevens don't have that. I know it's a pretty common thing over in Asia to have hot water dispensers. Yeah, we don't do that here. Yeah, so anyways, hot water dispensers are super common over there from what I know. But here, we don't have that. So anyways, I'm talking about a hot water dispenser. My mom bought one recently. And it has literally been the highlight of the last 2 days of my life. Because I go, I just want a cup of tea. And then we have a hot water dispenser. And I go, I can make a cup of tea. It's been a savior. It has literally been the most exciting thing in my life in the past 2 days. If you are a big tea drinker like me, you should just invest in one. Honestly, I don't know how much it is. My mom just bought it for the whole family. She was like, we drink too much tea as a family, as a family unit. We drink too much tea. I'm buying this, and it has been the best thing ever. Because we had a tea kettle, an electric tea kettle, which is also phenomenal. But we literally would make so much tea throughout the day that our electric tea kettle was like, poor thing was dying. Like, we would use our electric tea kettle probably like 7 times a day. That's not an exaggeration. Like, that's just how much we would use it because we would boil hot water all the time. So my mom decided to get the hot water dispenser instead, and it's been phenomenal. And I literally made this cup of tea in like less than a minute, and I think that was so cool. Anyways, the little things in life get me excited. That's how I know I'm an adult now. I get very excited about things like hot water dispensers in my house. So I feel like the progression goes start by boiling, then buy a kettle, then buy a hot water dispenser. That's probably, yeah. Honestly, yeah. You push the hot button and the hot water comes out neat. I know, it's such a simple thing, and I'm excited about it. Anyways, I hope your day has been well, chat. I don't want to talk about what I've been doing today. You probably know what I've been doing today. But, I hope you've been well. I hope you did your Duolingo. I promise to start my stream normal time tomorrow. I promise. Like, actual real promise. So that probably answers your question. I did it. On slot 2. So, we have a finished Terra file. We have a finished Terra file. All done. Granted, it was on beginner, so it went by like that. I will not overwrite my save for Ventus. And I will not do it when Aqua comes. So, I promise I won't do it. I've been scarred playing Terra for a second time after doing 11 hours of just Terra. Will scar me for life. I think I will never, like, that's something that I will just be like, I will be 40 years old. I will be 40 years old, I'll be laying in bed, and I'll just be like, God, remember that time I overrode my Terra save file? Yeah, that's where I'm going to be. Hi, Bae, how are you? How have you been? How's recovery? I saw that you're gonna start streaming again soon, friend. So Terra is your favorite Birth by Sleep main character now, right? Right? Yeah. Yippee, I love Terra. Okay, genuinely, let me say something really fast. I think that Terra is actually, he is stupid. He's not very smart, but I think he is a very cool guy. You know, like, I really do like him as a character. I think it's raw as hell how he just, like, he has this will to just, like, gatekeep Xehanort so hard that he's just like, yeah, we're just gonna gatekeep this bitch because, like, fuck you. Literally, just literally. So I think he's cool for that. Genuinely, he's got a crazy, yeah, lingering will is insane. So, love him for that, but he is so stupid. Honestly, my favorite himbo. Things are going pretty well. Pain is mostly gone with, when sitting around. It only spikes when I have to do post-op stuff, but the pain is temporary, so I'm just pushing through. Hope you're doing well. I'm so glad. That makes me so happy. Also, happy late Women's Day to you, Bae. I didn't put out a post or anything, but happy late Women's Day to you. And all my girlies who I didn't see yesterday. Man too angry to die. He was literally man too angry to die. But anyways, okay, I do have to say something though, chat, before I keep playing. All right, pause. I have to be nice. I have to not be nice. I have to be mean. I have to be very, look at him. He's so cute. I'm so sorry. I have to be mean. I've been seeing a lot of backseating the past like 3 streams. And I love you guys, and I love the backseating to an extent. That's what I have to say, to an extent. So unless I look really, really lost, or explicitly am asking for help, or you think that like she needs to have this, she needs to make this thing, don't say nothing. Okay? I'm gonna have to nip it in the bud. Anyways. That's all I have to say. I have to be kind of mean about it. I'm sorry, but I noticed that I actively wasn't looking at chat the past couple streams, and it was because of that. And so I don't want that to be the case, because I love interacting with you, and I love hanging out and talking dumb shit with y'all all the time. So and I don't want to like keep myself from looking at the chat because there's a lot of backseating going on. So, like I said, let's try to not do so much for the rest of this game. And then if I look super lost, or if I'm, explicitly asking for help, then you can. But for the most part, I would say let's stay away from it. And if you feel like you really want to make a suggestion, like, oh, Izzy, you should probably like meld this because it's like, it'll go well with what your play style, then tell me, and then I'll, I could decide whether or not I want to do it. Okay. But anyways, yeah. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea and then we'll get started. And I'm so happy. Do you want to know how mad I was last night? So I did most of this save file last night because I was so upset. I was so upset that, oh, that's gonna be my, actually I'm changing my title. I'm changing my title, hold on. There. This way everybody knows my damage for today. Anyways. But yeah, so I'm not even kidding. Last night at the end of stream, I was like, I'm so upset about it that I started this and I went to bed at like 5 a.m. because I wanted to get as much as I could done before going back to Ven. So, but anyways, that game, okay, when you skip the cutscenes, I've realized how short that his story is. Granted, it was on beginners, so like the boss fights were so much easier. Like I first tried literally, I think every single one of them except for Peter Pan. I don't know. I got stun locked by Peter Pan. That was the one that I failed on, by the way. I had to retry Peter Pan because he just went, and for what reason? Anyways. I don't want to talk about it, okay? I don't want to talk about the fact that I got stun-locked by Peter Pan. He's an asshole. And for what reason? And for why? He literally just stabs you multiple times, and for what reason? I really do. Anyways, I also have a new sub goal because I realized something. I've never played Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Ever. As a Sonic girly, what the hell? So I just realized maybe as a little break from some Kingdom Hearts, we could play some Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because I've never played that game before. I played 1, I played 2, I have played Sonic CD, I've played Sonic 3D Blast, but I've never played Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Vore? Yeah, Bobby, there's Vore in this game, do you know? Yeah, I played Sonic 4, episodes 1 and 2. But never Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So I do not understand what my damage was, but yeah. Anyways, I can't wait for this to literally just nuke my VOD. Where are we? Oh, we're supposed to talk to them. We are in Toontown. I know it's called Disney Town or whatever the fuck it's called, but it's Toontown in my brain. Yeah. I pressed Y.
Well, if it ain't the last kid Captain Justice saved, afraid you'll have to get in line. I'm working on another catastrophe here for these fellas. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, my good friends.
Now, I'd hardly call it a catastrophe. Yeah, all we were trying to do was make our own special recipe ice cream. And we had a little trouble. Come on, it's not really that big a deal.
These models.
I'm 100% positive you're the victims of sabotage.
Oh.
Not even close. Quit making stuff up. It's just the ice cream machine. Uncle Scrooge left it for us, but we can't figure out how it works because it's so complicated. Oh, we're sorry, Queen Minnie. We wanted you to be.
What is his animation? Do you see his animation? His talking animation is like so much.
It was very sweet of you to think.
Love Toontown.
We tried.
Say no more. Leave it to me. One bowl of ice cream coming right up.
You're just gonna make a mess. Leave it alone.
Chat, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Captain Justice.
I kind of like.
Ooh, this machine is busted. It just needs a.
I
good
love matcha ice
pounding.
cream, but I also just love matcha.
Hey, do you think I could give it a shot?
No, if Captain Justice can't fix it, there ain't nothing you can do.
Cookie dough, cookies
Maybe
and
not,
cream.
but there's no harm in trying.
Yeah, and better you than him. Here you go.
I also really like ube ice cream
Machine.
because like ube ice cream is like a staple in Halo Halo. What is this? Why is pause? This is an ice cream machine with keys. Oh, Jerome, you're so real with the coffee. I forgot about that. Coffee ice cream is probably like a third favorite then. You're so real. Rocky Road, dude. Rocky Road is like a good classic every so often. I do fuck with it. Cherry chocolate chip, that's my dad's favorite. That's my dad's favorite ice cream. I think the only ice cream that I do not really like is pistachio ice cream. Oh, no. Okay, actually, I know which one I hate. I severely dislike rainbow sherbet. I don't know what it is. I hate it. I hate rainbow sherbet ice cream. There's just something about it that I just go. It's so bad. I just don't like it. Maybe it's because it's so citrusy, but I don't hate citrus. Like, I don't hate like citrusy like flavors. Like, I fucked up an orange the other day, and I was like, what a good orange. But, like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's just, it tastes really fake. I think that's what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that it just tastes really fake. Like, it's a fake citrus. That's probably what it is. You don't like gay ice cream? Listen. I don't like rainbow sherbet ice cream. I just don't. I never had sherbet. What is the vibe? It is sour, but sweet. So, not a fan though. The calamansi, I have not tried it, but my sister has been telling me that I need to try it. Because she said she really liked it. But you know what's really funny, actually? My sister's favorite ice cream is rainbow sherbet. So I guess we just have very different taste buds. It's true, actually. It's true, because I hate floral teas. That sounds weird. Like, if I'm gonna drink a tea, I like a black tea or like a green tea. Something more earthy flavored. Neapolitan sucks too. Yeah, it's less bad than rainbow sherbet, but it's still up there as like not good. It mostly sucks because of the strawberry. I think strawberry ice cream is fine. It's just like fine, you know? But anyways, I don't like, I was talking about like, teas, but my sister and I have very different flavor palettes, I think, that we just like. My sister loves like floral teas and I don't. She would love to drink like a jasmine hibiscus rose tea, and I would never want to try that. I don't like the flavor of hibiscus. I think it's weirdly bitter and sour, and I don't like it. No, thank you. But I do love a just plain green tea, so. But that's also just me. I just like more very like earthy flavors. Plain chocolate is like no one's favorite ice cream. That's my little brother's favorite ice cream. It's just plain chocolate. Wait, that sounds so good actually. Okay, so see the word press, keep hitting A for a combo. What? No way is the Small World just playing right now. I'm pressing A! What? 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 Oh! 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 I have to use my... Oh, I get it. Why are we rhythm gaming? Ah, fuck, no, stop! The middle one only has... Oh, fuck. That was so bad. Oh! Okay! Wow. All right. Okay.
Here we go!
Uh-huh.
Follow the
No way.
Now we're talking.
This is arguably worse than Finny Fun.
Wackaroonie! How yummy! What a wonderful treat! I don't think I've ever had such delicious ice cream.
Why are we just casually?
Oh, dear.
Why are there casual just rhythm games?
Oh, Ventus. Just Ven is fine.
Well, thank you, Ventus. Way to go, Ven! I see. We had to push this thingamajig the other way. Hey, I just got an idea. We
They got
could
too
let
much
our
ice cream.
customers make up their own favorite flavors of ice cream.
Okay, buddy.
Not
I
with
think that's a
rat
little
machine.
much.
Well, the kid might have got it to work this one time, but junk like that needs to get junked.
Don't you dare, Pete!
They love
Fine,
their ice
but
cream
Captain
machine.
Justice will return.
They love their ice cream machine.
About Captain Justice. You said his name is Pete?
Yeah, he's the biggest troublemaker in town.
God,
Bet
their
he's
their
just calling himself Captain
their
Justice
talking
'cause he
animation
wants to
is
win the Million
rough.
Dreams Award.
What's the Million Dreams Award?
That's one of the Dream Festival events. Everyone votes for who they think is the town's most exemplary citizen.
she has 3
I
whole
get it.
eyelashes.
So that's what he meant by vote.
And if you win the
I can't
award,
say
you
nothing
get a
because my
really
favorite
cool
character
prize.
like of all time is
It's just a small
has 2
token,
big ass
nothing
eyelashes.
elaborate.
So you know what? I shouldn't say nothing.
The event is supposed to help us appreciate how much we all look out for each other every day. That's the spirit of the award.
Well, that sounds nice enough.
He just wants to get his grubby hands on the prize. And he
Thanks
knows
for the
that
follow.
nobody's gonna vote for him if he puts his own name on the ballot. But nobody's fooled. Yeah!
All of Minnie's eyelashes went to Tara. You know what?
Wish
Yeah.
somebody was looking out for me.
That was it? Is this just minigame the world? Alright, buddy. I guess it's time. We could either go... Alright, hear me out. We could either go to Olympus Coliseum or Deep Space. I hate this. This is the worst world so far. I played through it twice now, by the way. And I still think it's awful. Hi, Soul. How are you doing? I'm fine. You know, I hate Deep Space so much right now that I would rather do this. Oh, there he is.
Boy, the kid's relentless.
Hey, what you doing there?
Ah! I told you, I'm book solid. N-O spells forget it. What?
Oh.
Who in helicarnossus are you? Can't you see I'm
What
busy?
the hell did he just say?
I'm all signed up! Phil!
All right, Eric, I hear you. Now would you keep it down already?
Aha!
Oh, there he is,
Beautiful.
chat.
You happy now? You blew my cover.
Okay, fess up. I asked around and everybody says you're the guy.
You're
trainer
the
of
guy.
Heroes.
Yeah, that's
Really?
Twinkules.
You can teach that?
Of course he can. Come on, Phil, please. I really want to be a hero.
Look, we've been through this. I got 2 words for you. Student-teacher ratio.
1, 2.
I already got my hands full with this one. Come on,
I
hurry.
love how
I'm
Ventus
low
is actually
maintenance,
counting.
I swear.
I'm low maintenance, I swear!
Monsters, huh?
Poor guy, he just wants
Hey,
a
Phil, Watch
teacher.
this. I'll show you what I'm made of. And I'll help too.
Oh, poor Zach. Oh, that's right. We have the Axel Keyblade right now. All right. Zach, you can have that, I guess. All right. Where's this guy? Oh shit. All right. Please. God, you know what would make this game so much better? If I can hit enemies in the sky for realsies. Like, good. Alright, buddy, I hear you. Jesus Christ. Alright. Okay. Alrighty. There's so much going on, I feel like. Fighting with 2 other characters is a lot. Okay, going from beginner to standard mode, I feel like I'm doing like no damage to these guys. But also, I guess like Terra does hit like a truck, so maybe I'm just used to having been Terra. You know what? Actually, let's. Oh, I can't use my healing. Oh, and they're dead. And they're dead. Okay, whatever, buddy. What did that do? What is that doing? What is that doing? What? Hello? What do you mean? I know it wasn't locked on, but oh my goodness. Alright, one last guy, chat. We're almost free. I did not mean to do that. That's fine. We're not done! We're not done, chat. We're not done! There's so many of them! Oh, wait, I just realized. Everybody, pause. I just realized, I could just... Yeah. I forgot! And we'll do it again. Alright. You're kidding! Whatever. Whatever. Normal attack isn't meant to deal damage. Then why do I have a key?
Okay, change of plans. The games are coming up, so I'm gonna watch both of your matches, then I'll decide which of you rookies I want to train.
Sweet! Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go sign up right now.
The games, huh?
They just want you to cast spells and
Sorry,
abilities.
kid, Captain
Well,
Eager
they
there
don't.
just took the last spot.
They don't. Let me
I
use
don't
them enough.
Understand. Phil, I thought you were my trainer.
You want to be a true hero, Herc?
then you're gonna have to go out there and show me that everything I taught you so far is gonna pay off.
Damn.
But
That's
Phil,
harsh.
Oh, and no more training sessions for a while. Wouldn't be fair if I helped you and not him.
Wait, what the hell? The random betrayal?
Hey, cheer up. So you gotta fight a couple of matches, no big deal. I'm Ventus. You want me to help you train?
You'd really do that for
Dude,
me?
he's so kind. He's so pure-hearted. He's so
Thanks,
cute.
Ventus. I'm Hercules.
Oh,
Look, for sure.
they would be friends. They would be friends.
Just call me Ven. You're gonna do fine.
Thanks. I'm gonna head over to the Coliseum and warm up. Meet me in the vestibule, okay?
What the hell is a vestibule? The game was made by people who hadn't made a Kingdom Hearts game. What? Okay. Well, you know what? Are there any chests? I don't see no chests. All right, let's go.
Freeze! Fire! Come on! See ya! Freeze! Yeah!
Ugh, I hate these little guys. All right, don't touch me. I want money. Fuck. Not get my money, chat. Alright, buddy. Alright, buddy. Stop. Don't hit me. Dude, are you for fucking real?
Freeze!
Okay. And that's this. Alright. Let's go grab this over here. I just got done playing Terra, and so I'm sitting here like, wait, did I just get... Pause! Did I just get Cura? No, I just got Cure twice. Hold on, let me see if I can meld them together. Yeah, I can. That's good. This is good. This is very good. This is also good. Pause. Wait. What can we put here? We already have that. No, I don't care. But let's just put our we'll put one of these here. Oh wait, no, we don't want Blazara. I think I want something else. Magnet maybe? Do I want that? Maybe? Hayoshi Sonic. Let me see. Do we have any? No, I mean, he's slash is fine. Whatever. I mean, we don't need to do all this right now. We could go inside.
Yeah.
Yippee, a map. That's super useful. Ooh, I do like Fire Dash. This is honestly one of my favorites. I do like this one too. I do like Fire Strike. I'll be so honest. I do like that one a lot. I want this. You know, that's fine. It's fine. We'll deal with that later. We'll do fire strike, fire dash. This is fine. I think this is fine. For now. Let's just save really quick. I promise I'm saving on the right one. See? Number 1. Okay, we're good. I'll talk to you now. Let's get started. Why not? I can't like who you have my knees. I need my pH. The healing block thingy. Yeah, that's why I wanted to get that one magic ability so I could make that again. If you save over Terra's, you get a secret ending. Jom, I think I would rather. I think I would. You know what? All right, fire strike. Hold on, buddy. What does that do? It's just like, what? Nothing. But okay. Oh, Hercules got so much more than we did. The way he okay. I didn't play this yet, so I lurk. Have a good stream. Thank you. Do I just train again, chat? Or do I leave? That was like so fucking random. He just like... Let's train again. Let's... That's fine, buddy. That's whatever. I want to get on this. What did that do? What did that do? Here, no. I'm trying to use it, but oh, how is he doing that? Okay, he's fucking it up, alright. Dude, he's got 131. I have nothing. Do I lose if I don't get 100? I didn't see how many I needed to have. Oh, I got 100. What? Oh, I have to score more points than him. Oh, well, that's fucked.
Bring it!
Dude, how do I fucking win this? He's got an insane, like, lead. Whoa. How do I... He just did 44! Oh my god. How do I beat him? How the hell do I beat him? I don't know how to beat him! Dude, I'm not gonna be able to beat him. I'm really just not gonna be able to beat him. I'm at least a couple behind every single time. Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to beat him. I'm a whole 10 behind. Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to beat him. Fuck off, dude. How did he? What? He did so much more than me! Oh, I won. Well,
You want to become a true hero, huh?
that worked!
More than anything. See, my father is Zeus, the king of the gods, up on Olympus.
Whoa!
And I was stressing about
You're a
what?
god?
No, I'm mortal. When I was a baby, somebody stole me from my parents and figured out how to take away my godhood.
Complaining always works.
And this true hero thing?
It's the only way I can become a god again. If I become a true hero, I can rejoin my father and go back to Olympus.
But is that really that cool?
Wow. I guess you really got your work cut out for you.
But what about you? How come you're here?
I'm just trying to make some friends.
Oh, baby!
Well, you've done that already.
Huh?
Aphrodite's there, so... Yeah?
Come on,
Nah.
we're friends, aren't we?
You bet, Herc.
All right, you bunch of rookies. It's time we go over the rules of the game, so listen up. All the matches are divided into two brackets, one for the East and one for the West. Winners from each bracket go head-to-head in the championship match. Now, I signed you two up for the West, because they already got a heavy-hitting contender cleaning up over there in the East bracket. And if you want to beat them, you're going to have to hustle in there. Now, move those sandals.
Heavy-hitting contender.
Ben, come on.
Okay.
Oh! I need a new chair. I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, why am I so uncomfortable? Ugh. I need a not
Yes,
gamer
we made
chair.
it.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to you, Ven.
Good. The other kid will be happy to hear that.
No, I need you most of all, Phil. How else am I going to become a hero?
Huh, about time you got it.
It's a blue-eyed dude.
Whoever wins, no hard feelings.
No
Of course
hard
not.
feelings.
Holding a grudge wouldn't be very heroic.
Hey, just
True.
making sure. You're not a hero yet.
True.
Oh, look at them head to head. Dude, bro has a whole sword and Hercules has fists.
This is really close.
Bitch, they haven't even touched each other. What do you mean it's really close?
Hey, we got trouble! There's monsters loose in town, and if they gatecrash the games, you can forget about the match.
Real monsters?
We have to stop them.
Leave the monsters to me. This match is too important.
This match is too important! I don't know why that was so... How much money do I have? None. Literally no money. No monies. Ugh, I guess I'll deal with these guys while I'm here. I wanna get Terra. Does Terra's G-Link make me stronger? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Oh, can we not? Can we not? Let's not. Hello. What a different shot lock. I don't know if I like this one. I liked Terra's a lot, to be completely honest. I thought it was cool. Dude. Thank you. Oh, dude, there's so many. There's always so many. There's so many all the time. All the time. Help! That's all I just have to win. Yeah! For what reason are you here all the time? Oh my god. Yeah! Bitch sounding like Sonic. Yeah! Okay, don't jump, Izzy. Okay, okay. You know what, how about I grab you? And then I literally can't do nothing about that. Alright, well, they're too high for me. That's fine. Alright, buddy. No, not you. No more, right? I think I'm gonna cry. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Shut up. Oh! Oh! Ah! Yeah, no. That didn't happen.
You won't get past me. Huh?
I don't like those guys.
Herc, what about your match?
Forget the match. No way I could let my friend fight alone, because I'm a hero. I mean, you know, I'm gonna be one. Come on, let's finish this together.
Well. Oh, well, what? Did you guys, that sounded so bass boosted. Did you guys hear that?
You ready? Come on.
Oh, what the hell?
You ready? Come on.
Which stick is that? Which stick is that?
You ready?
like eventually. Here, you want to come here?
You ready? Come on.
And then we'll press A. I pressed A. What? I pressed A.
You ready? Come on.
Alright, but I pressed, and then I pressed A button. Oh! I should have pressed A. Alright, let's, oh, I don't have a why not? Alright, dude, can you not? They changed Rox's voice clips during fights to Ventus's voice clips. Wait, what? Oh, now we have this.
Sorry that I made you lose that match, Herc.
Oh, come on. You don't have to apologize. It was totally my decision.
Your stream made me want to boot this game up, but then I forgot, so I didn't.
Hey, you're here.
It's okay.
Hey, I've set my sights on being a hero too.
You can
I just
watch
don't run
me
as
play
fast,
through
that's all.
So you both threw
the game of all time.
Who won then?
I left first, so it's not me.
Yeah, but I was only seconds behind you.
Still.
Yeah, let's
Hey,
be forfeiting
I never
first.
said I'd coach the winner. All I said was I'd see the match, then decide. Look, being a hero takes more than just muscle. You gotta have heart and care about people. And sure, you both get high marks for that, but this time only one of you cared fast enough, and that makes all the difference.
Then that means...
Oh, man. I was this close.
Sorry, Zach.
Well, that's life.
I
never
that's
really
life.
introduced myself. The name's Zach. Congratulations, Herc.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, well, we'll see if you're still thanking him when I'm through with you. You got a long road ahead of you, champ.
Hey, don't count me out. I've still got plenty of big dreams to go with my lousy luck.
I just want to keep telling. I want to say something so mean. I just want to be like,
okay, be honest.
yeah, he dies.
You
I'm.
weren't really gonna stop training Herc, were you?
Nah,
I
of course
mean,
not.
what?
I know that kid's gonna go the distance, but he was stuck in a rut. He just needed a little incentive. It's Ventus, right? Well, thanks to you, Herc here is really shaped up. I owe you.
Nah, I'm glad.
I think it's kind of cute because
really good
Ventus's
friend.
story is just like, yeah, I'm just
Somebody
hanging
to share a
out
laugh with.
now.
Like Terra and Aqua. We'll patch things up.
I'm making friends.
You're leaving?
Yeah. My
Okay, this
journey's
was
not over
really
yet.
cute though. I'll say this
But you'll
little
visit,
world was
right?
really cute.
I'll stop by once you're a true hero.
Stop by once me and him are both heroes.
Oh. So you mean never come back?
Hey, watch it.
Phil, why the fuck are you laughing? Shut up. Oh, we love this Keyblade. We like. Now we have to go to the worst fucking world ever. The worst world. I hate this world! It's slight backtracking. Oh, if I didn't have to backtrack, then maybe.
What's that?
Oh.
Whoa!
What?
Burst. Try that again.
Oh, take out the giant unversed. What the fuck are even unversed? Please tell me it's gonna be explained, right? Attack with A and Y. Okay. Right? Fuck, dude. What's going on? Oh. Oh, wrong button for that. That was so fun. I had so much fun with that. It felt very unnecessary, but you know what? Technically already was. Yen Sid only briefly mentioned it, but they talked about it. They'll talk about it more later. Oh. Well, they're just... like, what are they the embodiment of? This thing would have killed you so many times over on critical. I'm sure. I think it would be what if I did Aqua story but on critical? There he
Don't get
is.
any more ideas. These guns are locked into your genetic signature.
Oh, we would be here a while. I'd do it.
All right, you. Don't get any funny ideas.
Ew. How do you do that? Me acting as if I've never seen this movie before.
So you're the intruder. Identify yourself.
My name is Ventus. The monster I was chasing boarded your ship.
Nice try. If there was another intruder aboard, we'd have detected it.
Thank you, Gantu.
Huh?
He's got a...
We lost control of the engines. It's some kind of monster.
Now you tell me.
Ah.
Stay right there. I have lots of unpleasant questions to ask you.
This is my fault. I have to do something. Huh?
I just... Oh. What?
What?
Oh, Aqua!
Aqua?
Friend, circle.
Hey, is that a wayfinder?
Whoa. The engines are under too much stress. We're risking an explosion.
What am I doing? There's no time. Huh? No, you need to stay here. It's too dangerous.
He's fine. Bro literally plummeted to Earth. He's fine. I like how... Oh. Oh, shit! Oh, hi. Let's not! Yeah! Ah! All right. What the hell? We should probably be using thunder. What am I doing? I'm a thunder girly. Why am I not using thunder? Let's put that in our little slot bar in a second. God, I'm doing like no damage. Jesus fucking Christ. This is rough. This is rough, man. This is rough. This is rough. Okay, I feel like I'm doing no damage. Let's change it a little bit, maybe. No, I think I want to keep this because I like the balance of both of them. Magnet? Okay. Hear me out. We'll put Kira here. Then we'll put... Do we have Thundaga? I don't think so. But we do have a Thunder. So if we could do this into this, that would be good. Bit is all I gotta say. Stun Edge and Fire? That's Fire Strike. But we already have Fire Strike. I don't want Fire Strike a second time. Ooh. Yeah, we could do that one. That's fine. Huh. Oh. Okay, that's fine, I guess. No. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I do like Blizzard Edge. We have 2 fire dashes. We could do Strike Raid. I'll level those up. Did we get a... I don't think we did. That's fine. All right.
Bring it. Yeah, yeah. Thunder. Yeah. Gotcha.
Whoa. Which is the one with the thunder? And it's like a... It's not Blizzard Edge, but it's like a Thunder Edge or something like that. That's the best way I could put it, you know? Thunder Surge? Yeah! How do I make that one again, chat? I like that one. I made it with Terra earlier and I'm not really sure how I did it. I just did.
Gotcha! Thunder! Yeah!
Yeah, this is rough. I'm trying to use these over and over again, but like it's I'm doing like chip damage. This is it hurts. It hurts so bad. Fire Dash and Thundara. Oh. Oh, guys, I forgot we have a Mickey D-Link. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. That's so funny. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool, actually. Oh my god, please. Guys, I realized I got rid of my magnet and I did not mean to do that. Because I wanted to use magnet into thunder. Oh my god, this fight is taking so long. All right. This is rough. God damn it. Are we done? Oh my god, we're finally done. Pause. We want to level that one up. You guys said Fire Dash, right? I have to do Fire Dash with, what was it again? Thundaga? Oh, Thundara. I don't think I want Binding Strike, so I'm gonna replace that with Trigrade, actually. And then I'm gonna put this one. God, this is rough. Hold on, let me. So once you level Thunder, you're almost there. Okay, I believe one. Your stun edges plus Thunder gives Thundara. Stun edges. Do I have? Oh no, I need to do that. Oh, the last time I saw you were on Kingdom Hearts 2 having fun. This game is not Kingdom Hearts 2. But it's fine. I like, dude, my cough is, I want my cough to be gone so bad, chat. It's like, this game, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I don't hate it. I think there's a lot of really cool things about it. But I'm not fond of it necessarily. Her strength is probably low. Wait, what? Wait, you're saying my strength is low? Are you kidding? Wait. I'm level 15. What am I doing wrong? So I feel playing this game, especially playing as Terra. Yeah. Alright.
Bring it! See ya!
I forgot I have a Mickey. That's kind of crazy though. Hold on. Okay.
how you did it, but you won't get away again.
Guys, he broke his thing.
You haven't fooled me.
That's so
You can
sad.
dot your eyes all you want at the Grand Councilwoman so she'll reconsider your sentence. But I see you for what you really are. An abomination that's only instinct is to destroy everything it touches.
Dude, be nice to him, Gantu. He's just a little guy, all right? He's trying to make some friends. I think the game got tired of me being bad. So, I think that's funny. Can I meld things now? There's Fire Dash and none of these. Okay. That makes... Okay. No. Okay. My strike rate plus... Oh, Lazara. Oh, we do like a little bit of freeze raid. Oh, do we want to make this one, right? Oh, we can't do that yet. No. Oh, I don't like Slot Edge. Can I be so fucking for real? I do not like Slot Edge at all. Wait, what? Oh no, Izzy, I'm so sorry. That's like my worst nightmare when it comes to Kingdom Hearts games. It feels especially easy to make that mistake. Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's okay because like, here, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Let me go stop at the shop real fast though. We need to buy... Which is the one that I need to buy? I need to buy a thing here, and I can't remember which one it is. Oh, this one. At 600. Shit, dude, I feel like I made... Fuck. Alright, I'm just gonna... I feel like I don't use these. Some of these I just don't use. Do I need to buy a block? Oh, another block? Okay, that would make sense that I need to buy another block. Oh, okay. I guess I'll do this one and then... Anyways, here. I fixed it. See? I have a Terra save file and a Ventus save file. Oh, air slide. That's right. I forgot about air slide. I forgot that I have air slide. Oopsie. Well. Alright, let's go this way. You know what? If my strength isn't, like, that high, I feel like I should change my... We'll just do this for now. Had all 3 stories starting at once. Start when I first started the game. That makes sense. Alright, well, whatever, buddy. I like how it makes me invincible, by the way. Those big balloon guys piss me off. It's like, if you don't kill them in time, you either... Alright, hold on, pause. Whoa. Okay, that's kind of a crazy combo. I think that's my favorite so far, honestly. Oh, fuck, dude. Alright, hold on. Actually, we're gonna... Thunder! Bring it! See ya! Damn! Gather! Thunder! I hate Thunder. Okay, I feel like that was better. That was a lot better. Oh, I didn't get that chest, chat. Hold on, pause. Okay. Is this the room that I need to go into? No, we need to go up here then. Ooh, a chest!
Thunder. Yeah. Rock. Tap. Bring it. Rock. Tap. Yeah.
Okay, where is... Dude, you need it. You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to deal with him. And this makes it to where I will just fall now. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to be going? Isn't there supposed to be like a door or some shit that I need to go up into?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't want to lose all my progress.
Yeah. Come. Yeah. Bring it.
Alright,
Yeah. Yeah. Gather. Thunder. Rock. Gather. Thunder. Aha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna... I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, over here. I see now. Ugh.
Gather. Thunder. Yeah. Yeah. Rock. Yeah. Rock. Come on. Gather. So. Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where I'm supposed to go. God, that took forever. Ah, wait! Okay. I hate this guy.
Yeah. 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 Gather. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, what was that?
Yeah. Thunder. Yeah.
Alright, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, hold on.
Heal.
Jesus Christ. Stop! Stop!
Yeah.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god!
Thunder. Yeah. 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 Heal.
Dude, I hate how I literally can't. Stop!
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
Heal. Yeah. Yeah.
God, that took forever. Oh my god.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, buddy, I get it. Hold on. Let me...
Heal.
Doing anything with just your keyblade is so rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
This game does not want you to have fun. I don't even know where I'm supposed to go, chat. Like, am I just... Ooh, we can't go up here now, though. That's the problem. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Oh, okay. Do we want to go through... Oh, Xehanort report.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? What the hell? Do we want to go down here?
Heal. Yeah.
That's where we need to go. I think. Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Ha.
Just kidding.
Huh. Ha. Yeah. Huh. Ha.
I do have to go this way.
Huh.
I see.
Ha. Huh.
Well, I guess I will save just in case. Ugh. Spark rate is freeze rate and level 3 magnet. I don't know what spark rate is. Oh, what did it tell me? What did it tell me, chat? Like strike rate but electric? Oh, got it. I feel like what I have is good. I like what I have. Oh, that's right. The stupid little fucking guy is here.
End of the line.
Yep. You're dead. Oh, Stitch!
Hey, you shouldn't be here.
Okay, wait. Stitch is awesome here. The way he scary dog privilege. He's just saying shit. I love that line at Lilo. And says she's like, we need something sturdy, and she's like, yeah, like a lobster. I think about that like a lot, like a lot. What the fuck is happening? Whoa! What? Excuse me? What? Chat, what the hell was that? Dude, get out. Oh, hey, let's not. Okay. What do I even do there? Oh. I don't know what that did, but I'm now realizing I should press this. Okay, move! Cool. I just don't know what the fuck has happened, but okay. How about you get up here? Are you for fucking real? Okay. Where the fuck did it go, Chad? Oh, it's okay. That's fine. That's fine. Just go invisible. Where is it? Chat. I'm really not sure how to fight this guy still. So I'm just gonna. Hope that did something. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. Why did I let go? Okay. The ship is being damaged, and I just realized that I have a little thing that is telling me that the ship is. Can you? Where did you go?
Bring it.
Can we hurry up? Where the fuck did it go, chat?
Warning, warning! The warp engine is about to explode!
No! 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 Stop! Dude, I'm like one hit away from killing you. Where are you? I'm one hit away from dying. How did I not lose that? Good night, Kebabber. I did it! How? I'm just as confused as most of you, probably. Is there a right way to fight that? Probably. Did I do it? Most likely not.
What's gotten into you?
He's sad.
I see. Your wayfinder broke.
You had Stitch. I don't know what Stitch did.
Friendship's more than an object.
Friendship. Circle?
Don't let the little mimic fool you.
Stitch shot at him?
You
Oh,
saw for
really?
yourself what kind of monster that thing is. All it knows how to do is hurt and destroy.
Nah, Stitch got my back, bro.
He helped me stop the monster.
You must have triggered some sort of mutation, hidden in the little freak's genetic coding.
Then, friend.
We are friends.
See, Stitch is
Better say
endearing.
goodbyes now, because 626 is about to
Jack
be
was
destroyed. Stop that!
not.
Come on.
Sound the alert! Prisoners on the loose! Don't let them get away!
God, his little ship is so iconic.
Where are we going?
He goes, I don't know.
Hyperdrive has been activated. System charging. Warning. Guidance is not functional. Navigation failure. Do not engage hyperdrive. Repeat. Do not engage.
Break formation, get clear!
What is it? What's going on?
Bro's about to explode. That is a key blade. Ben lost another friend. He can always go back to Olympus, you know. And Neverland. At least things are different, you know. At least, sure, we might be playing through the same worlds over and over again, but at least it's different. You know, as somebody who has played through Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog 2005, this is we have variety here. Why is her ass out? Put that away, Tinkerbell! Put it away! Like, whoa, ma'am. Holy fuck, like, holy shit, why did, it was just, ow! I mean, whatever, you know what? Mickey Mouse? That was it? Move it? Oh, Tinkerbell looks like she's about to kick us upside the head. Oh yeah, no, she was about to kick us like real.
Who are you?
Name's Ventus, but everybody just calls me Ven. Huh.
Guys, Tinkerbell is like...
When I sat down to rest, I must have fallen
a little guy, leave her alone.
But where'd you come from?
Well, you see...
All right, we're going.
So long, Ben.
She is rude. She does try to kill Wendy, you know? She's not a girl's girl.
Tink saw a shooting star, and we're gonna go hunt it down.
Have we ever considered that? Have we ever considered that Tinkerbell is not a girl's girl?
But you gotta agree to follow us.
Yeah, it's right over.
She is a pick-me. No, she is a pick-me.
By the Indian camp.
Ready, man?
Whoa, did he say what?
Okay.
Right, this game was made in 2009, right? Can he say that? Well, well, that's awkward. I'm clipping that. Can he say? He said, an outdated term that we do not use no more. Roll back the clip. No, it's fine. I guess we go.
Bring it. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay, buddy. Alright, Fire Dash. Blizzard Edge. And it's time to... My favorite. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I think it's cool. Sometimes I just do multiple moves into each other and just like, shit just happens and I go, yeah. What was that? What did I just do? That was cool. That was really cool. Yeah, what was that? What did I just do? Wait, are you telling me I need a grind chat? When Jump say, wait, this movie has not great stuff in it. Yeah. we're gonna ignore the outdated terms that might be used in this game because 2009, this was made in 2009, right, chat? It's crazy, like, the things that we said back then as if it was like, ooh! Can I be so for real? This shit kind of gas. I'm under-leveled as fuck. Well, that's really nice to know. Thank you. I love that I'm under-leveled as fuck. Have a new keyblade? Listen, I figured out my combo. My silly little combo is Magnera into Thundara. And that's what's gonna carry me. I've just realized that's my win condition right there. You know what's funny? I'm just thinking about it right now. None of my friends had a PSP. Like, none of them. I don't know a single person as a kid that had a PSP. Who owned a PSP real? Like, all my friends had DS's. Like, I'm just sitting here like, damn, I would have never played this game as a kid. Like, I would never even have touched it. Like, partly because I didn't have a, you know, a PSP, but like, then I was like, well, who even had a PSP, you know? And he fell. Am I leveling well? I'm gonna cry. Thunder. There we go, Thundara level 3, baby. We keep going. I don't think this is the way to the camp. Okay. Well, that's right. That's the way to Skull Rock, dumbass. Where is the camp, chat? Okay. Okay.
Gather. Thunder. See ya. Yeah. Bring it. It's over. Gather. Thunder. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Yeah. Deal. Yeah. Gather. Thunder. Yeah. Aha. Rough. Bring it. Rough. Aha. Rough. Come on.
Oh my god, chat. At this point, we're just grinding, right? I feel like that is what we are doing.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Oh boy. Alright, well, we are now level 19. Are we in the right place? Oh, yes, we are. Whew! That took a minute.
Peter Pan! Who do we have here? Never
So
seen
higher
you
level is
before.
recommended because
I'm
Terra
Ventus.
does hit
Call me Ventus.
hit harder. Shit.
Well,
Okay.
if you say so.
Also, hi Ariel. I'm so sorry I didn't see you earlier. Hi. How are you?
Tension! Now then, I don't suppose you'd want to capture some real pirate treasure.
My dad. It was my dad's until he stopped using it and gave it to me.
Guess who caught sight of
It's
Hook
crazy
Up
how
and
you guys had
snatched his
parents
treasure?
who played
What do
video
you say we
games.
sneak in
My
and
parents
grab
didn't
it?
play video games. Well, my dad did, and then he had kids.
Tinkerbell?
So I've never seen my dad really play video games.
We were all supposed to go hunt for a shooting star together.
Forget that. Pirate treasure is way more fun.
No, pirate
Tink, you're
treasure's
coming with
way
us.
more fun. Yeah, that's what Luffy said too.
Well, that's no way to respond to an invitation. Come on, Ben. You're a better sport than her, right?
I'd love to join you, but first I want to find the shooting star.
Persona 3 Portable was also on the PSP. Oh, that's true. Persona. Me when Persona. I love Persona. You know what? Wait, hold on. I have to show you. Joe, what was the one that I showed you the other day that it was so fucking funny? The fuck ass, like, hold on. There was a Persona meme that I showed Jom the other day. And I thought it was really funny. Oh, fuck. Oh, here it is. Here. Here's the link for y'all. I do not remember. No, it's this one. I sent it to you. I like this post. It's good. The fuck ass Velvet Room assistant. That's probably like my favorite Persona meme I've seen so far. It's funny because like I've not really played. Like I haven't played Persona. I've seen Joan play some Persona though.
Thunder. Gotcha.
Oh, guys, this is cool. The cool thing is back. Okay, that is still not the way to the camp. What level should I be, chat? Chat, that is so cool. That is so cool. Okay, sometimes this game is cool. Guys, where is the camp? Hello? I think we're finally on the way.
Yeah.
Let's save just in case. Wait. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry, I had a moment. I was like, stop! Stop! I have PTSD. Oh, the way I'm terrified now. I don't think this is the way. All right, I get it, man. Oh wait, this is the way. This is the way. See, there they are. By the end of this level, so maybe 22. So I should be 22.
Mickey's Star Shard?
A shooting star and a pixie. Must be my birthday.
Oh, and he grabbed her. And
let Tinkerbell go.
It's
One
no,
of Peter
honestly,
Pan's brats.
you can have
Well,
her.
tell
Like,
that cowardly sparrow if he wants
I'm
his
so mean to her.
Tinkerbell back.
Maybe it's because she is a pick me. Maybe it's maybe
Now
because
make
I have
lagoon.
pick me girl trauma. You know.
Scram!
God, pygmies are the most annoying fucking people ever. Like, genuinely. You know how many church girls I went to church with would be like, well, I'm not like other girls. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Tell me why there was so much, like, hold on, pause. There we go. Sorry, I just needed to do that real quick. There was so much competitive, like, competitiveness when it came to, like, being a girl in fucking church. Like, what, for what reason? It's like, hello? Sorry, this is just me venting my religious trauma, because, like, that's me. I just have religious trauma. Who would I be if I didn't have religious trauma, right? Normal. And, does this just, like, get rid of everybody? Oh, I thought I got rid of it, like, literally everybody in the vicinity, but just kidding, haha. I lied. Alright, time to cure. I think I'm gonna grab... I'm gonna do Terra. Does Terra make me hit harder? I asked this earlier and I did not pay attention to chat, so I'm so sorry that I am just not paying attention because I'm stupid. Alright, buddy. Alright. I'm gonna kill him. Again. And again. Hello? Not level 1? Okay, that's cool. Good to know, good to know. What the hell did I just grab? What the hell did I just grab? What was that? What is that, chat? What was that? What did I get? Ooh! Hello. Ooh. Okay, okay. Oh, well, no! Well, that sucks. I have to level up the D-Link again, don't I? Cool. Oh my god, is Mar here? Hi, Mar! Hold on, I'm going back up to the pick me conversation because I got a D-Link and I got excited. Sorry. Pick me church girls. Stop. Yep. Yes, ma'am. My family went to a country church, so we had many pick me horse girls. Ariel. There's something about the specificness of a pick me horse girl that just like awoke something in me. Like there's just something so specific about it that I'm like, oh my god. Normal Izzy is a sleep paralysis demon, I'm sure. Absolutely. It's like me without bangs. Me without bangs. Oh my god. Who was she? Who was she? Anyways, yeah, I'll just hit retry. We'll just grab the Terra D-Link. Pick me horse girl is the ultimate boss. That's like the final boss for me, honestly. I knew a lot of pick me girls in middle school. It typically is a middle school thing, I want to say. You know what? We're gonna just do this for now, and then we'll get Terra later. Actually, we're gonna huh?
Oh yeah! This is happening!
Debonair, thank you so much for the gifted sub! That's one closer to Sonic Hedgehog. Okay. Okay. Chat. We need to chill. Stop! But yeah, there's just, Alright, and now it's time for the Terra. Alright, oh wait, chat! It looked like it's saved because I didn't have that before. Wait, did it save? Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Oh, beautiful. This is good for us. I got really scared. I was like, oh no, chat. I fucked up. And hold on, next guy. Stun edge into let's slide Alright, move. Nope. Alright, last guy. Ooh, nice. Here we go. It says because you hit retry. But yeah, no, there was something very strange about like there was like a weird like pick me culture in the church. It's very much like you need to have as a woman, you have to have the validation of a man. So like it's super rampant in the It's very strange. I don't understand it. Outside of like, you know,
Look out below!
Peter,
the
help!
church just wants to control women,
Pink
so
Girl's
of
been
course,
pixie-napped.
Then I'm too late.
you know, pick me.
Who's gonna pay for this?
He said to meet him at Mermaid Lagoon.
Gotta be
Pick
an
me
ambush.
ism, dare I say,
That old codfish thinks he's clever.
is
Hey,
very,
I'm
very
going too.
rampant and encouraged,
Well, we have to
actually.
hurry. Can you keep up?
You bet.
Oh, we're flying? Oh, we're not flying. We do not have the pixie dust to fly. Let's save. A lot of my sister's friends used to be like that. It was messy. Oof. Yeah, and again, it's not necessarily like the girl's fault. It's just like how they were raised, you know? Which is super unfortunate.
Come on. Yeah. Ta. Yeah. Ta. Gather. Thunder. Yeah. Rock.
Dude, this is so cool. This is so cool. It's so cool every single time. I won't stop saying that it's cool. Chat, am I supposed to go to the Mermaid Lagoon? Okay. I feel like I already forgot because I was too busy talking about Pick Me Girls. Which way is the Mermaid Lagoon again? Is this it? That's not it. This is the camp. Okay, no, I was going the right direction. What level am I? 20? Okay. I once heard someone say Pick Me Girls are actually lesbian allies because at the end of the day, they take the male attention away from the lesbians. And onto them. That's a weird, very strange, roundabout way of thinking, but sure. That's some logic. Wait, hold on. I know it makes watching Dun streamers hard due to the time. I'm sorry. Like I said, listen, like I said, Californians love me. East Coast people and Europeans hate me. Thunder Surge now. Ooh, that's true. I could get Thunder Surge. Probably. Wait, hold on. When I went to church, I tried to be friends with the kids there, and I was not well liked because I liked anime and I didn't really want the attention. Yeah. It's weird because a lot of church kids end up being theater kids. They're either theater kids or choir kids, and choir kids is definitely a subset of theater kids. That is shockingly true. I'm no exception. I am a living proof I was a theater kid. Like, it's theater kids are something else. Tell me about it. Oh, but yeah, no, pick oh shit, hold on, chat. I just realized we have y'all, that was so much information that popped up on my screen. I have to have Kira being my last thing. I'm sorry. I'm very strange like that. I don't know why. Okay. We need... No. Thundara. Which is more powerful, chat? Thundara or Thundaga? I'm pretty sure it's Thundara? Thundaga. Just kidding. Okay, so let's do... You guys said I can meld stuff right now, right? It was Fire Dash and Pandora. Ha 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 ha. I think I want this. This is cool. This is good. I don't like slot edge. Am I weird for that? Not liking slot? No, I don't want that. Guys, I want the Thunder Surge. Slot edge is only good as a fuse material. What can I make out of slot edge? Because I'm so down to just make it and then make it into something cooler. So do I have another Magnera to level up? Doesn't look like I do. No, but we could buy one. We could buy... Possibly. We could go back. And it will work too. Okay, let's make something real quick as a little treat. Where's my shop? Oh, where's the shop? I swear to God, the shop was here. Is he gone? Guys, wasn't he? He's not there for Ben? On the cliffside. Which cliffside? What do you mean it's inside the tree, huh? Shop in the treehouse. Oh, well then I'll just go to the treehouse real quick. Oh. This is cute. Quaint even. Alright. You guys said we're buying magnet, right? Because we are a little too poor to buy Magnera. Okay. And then we're going into here. We're melding Fire Dash and no. Blizzard Edge. Guys, I love Blizzard Edge. That makes me sad, but okay, and then Cura, right? Buy Quick Blitz? Why? Oh, hey, look at that. So I need to do this. Make slot edge. Oh, but then I don't have cure anymore, right? But let me just do this. Sure. Do I have to level up? Do I have to level these up? So I need to put in slot edge and I have to put in quick blitz, right? So I have to have these in here to level them up. Okay. Cool. Let me... I don't remember if I have new things. Oh, I do. This is an ugly-ass Keyblade, but I'll take it. This is an ugly-ass Keyblade. Alright, now we're at Mermaid Lagoon.
Eat it, man, ahoy! Man along, Tom, and fire!
Cannon fire? Where's it coming from? On the water! Over there!
That's so far away. Oh, she's fine.
Tink, it's you! And you're all right!
Oh.
What? A strange fellow with a funny-looking sword has... Hold on! I gotta stop that cannon! Okay, I'll go after Hook. Right. Tink, if you would?
Yippee, chat, we can fly.
What? It's pixie dust! Bet you feel lighter now, don't you?
I think it's really funny to think that the Tinkerbell lore is that, like, they have to refill up on Tinkerbell dust, pixie dust. Hello, bitch. Do you guys know any of the Pixie Hollow lore? I know Ariel does. I know Ariel is a girly who grew up on that shit. But I think it's so funny to think that, like, they have to, like, pixie dust is a limited resource. Pixie dust is a limited resource, and they get a week ration. I think it's funny. That's just the thing. Like, they established all this lore, like, fucking 50 years after, probably 60 years after this Peter Pan came out, you know, like, it's been a long ass time, but I remember enjoying the Tinkerbell movies so much. They're good movies, actually. They limited the unlimited. It was weird for me to think about, right? Jake and the Neverland Pirates is the thing that exists. Baller show, by the way. What is pixie dust made out of? From a tree. It's made from a tree. So, I love that show. My nephew was obsessed with it. It's a cute show. Hi, Sonics. Hello. Hello, friends. How are you guys? Hello, Raiders. This is like the 3rd time this week you've seen me. How are you? We are talking about pixie dust right now, and how pixie dust is actually a limited resource. That's true. Sora can just fly on his own, which is really funny. He just believes. They never sprinkled him with pixie dust. Imagine if you're a fairy and have allergies. I'm sure it's a thing. All right. Guys, why can't I glide? What did I do wrong? Whoa, he swims way fast. Oh! I have to equip glide? Are you fucking for real? No way. Oh. This is not where I'm supposed to go. I don't think. But I could fly now, kind of, sort of. How the fuck do I get out of here, chat? Do I have to go to Skull Rock? I don't recall. I'm not gonna deal with these guys. Dude, Thunder Surge is so good. I love this. You know, at least we got to like level up a lot. This is one of my favorite worlds. This one's not bad. This one's actually not a bad world. My least favorite world is the Lilo and Stitch one. Hate that one. Bad. Bad, honestly. Oh. I wish there were more enemies. I want to use Storm on them so bad. I want to use Storm on them so bad. Oh, fuck. Alright, watch it. That is literally all I've been doing. I never understood why people are obsessed with Lilo and Stitch. It's because there's a little guy, and, like, people like little guys. You know, like, the movie is good, but it's... I'm not, like, obsessed with it, you know? We should probably... Did you guys say I should level up Mickey Mouse's dealing? I'm a little guy. People don't like me. That sounds like a you problem. Wait, pause.
Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Heal. Rock. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, I don't know if you ever considered it, but doesn't Mickey have double XP? Does he? Guys, I don't like this shot lock. Am I weird for that? I'm not a big fan of this one, honestly. Maybe I'm weird for that. Oh, X. Alrighty, buddy. Chill on me, chill on me, chill on me. He's still not dead. Ideally for himself, class. I just want to level it up. If you guys are saying that it's like really good, I may as well, right? Alright, you're right, I should drink some water. I'll do that in a second. It's been a minute since I had a little sip of water. You too, chat. I should drink some water.
Thunder.
At least it feels like I'm not doing like chip damage anymore. At least like, oh, I did not mean to use my potion. That was fucking annoying. I can't believe I accidentally used my potion. Fuck me. Oh, that's just a guy. Okay. Did I just do it again, chat? Did I just do it again? Alright, we need to get Kira back. Using electricity on electric enemies, okay. Have you ever heard of insanity? Let me be insane. Let me do the wrong thing on the right guy. I can level up potions? Are you ever not insane? That's what I'm saying, the religious trauma.
Alas, and so passeth a worthy opponent. To think that his would be such an inglorious end. At last, that scurvy rat will never trouble me again.
I wouldn't be so sure that, Hook.
Swoggle
He's just
the
there.
eyes. No, don't tell me.
And your ship's taken. And your man's been taken.
Blast that Peter Pan!
Hook did nothing wrong, to be honest. I could take him on.
Oh,
I could beat him.
so.
I could do it. I would win.
No, not again! Stay away from me!
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Put him in the water. Got it. Pan did take his hand. Well, but for why? Yeah. Oh.
Thunder!
Okay.
Prison foil!
Ah! So that didn't happen. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
God!
You gonna do? Taste me, sword! I don't know why that's so funny. We fucking suck at that. Dude, alright, chill. Ah! We're fine.
Gotcha!
Alright, kill him. Oh. The crocodile does not give a shit about us, by the way. I think that's so funny. Oh! He's in the water! Oh. Oh, let's not. Vicky. The way that I almost fucked up. And he's in the water. And he's in the water. Are you gonna hit me? Oh. What the fuck? Taste me, sword!
Taste me, sword! Deal!
Put him in the water. Put him in the water, Ventus! Put him in the water! Alright, how about we clear one more time? You leave me alone? Oh! I kill him.
You scurvy brat! I'll run you through!
Oh! Ah! Let's... Ah! No! Why did you... Stop! He's throwing bombs at me! Well, that's fine. What happened? Telling me a glitch?
You scurvy brat! I'll run you through!
Bye. Okay. That's fine. You see how much that's doing? How much damage that's doing?
Come on! Prison foil! Yeah! Kiss me, God!
Okay, that's fine.
I'll get you for that. You'll be walking the plank. Here.
Oh, okay. I thought, I swear to God, Alright, whatever. Fine.
Gotcha!
What?
You scurvy brat! I'll run you through!
Okay.
Prison foil! Bring it!
This one's taking a while. Dude, chill on me.
Here.
Face me, coward! Face me, coward!
Almost out of potion. Fuck, dude.
Prison foil!
Shit.
Face me, coward!
You scurvy brat!
You'll be walking the plank.
Oh my God, chat. This one's taking a while. Oh my God. Hook is a durable man. I fucking guess. Am I healing? Oh. Whoa! Okay. I thought I used the block that makes me heal too.
Gotcha! Thunder! Face me, coward!
Here.
Are you kidding? Oh my god. If you get, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to do, I should just keep doing thunder, huh? Oh my god, we're almost there.
Come on! Face me,
How did that?
Face me, on! Yeah! Face me, on! Face me, on!
Oh, I forgot that.
Gotcha! Face me, on!
What the fuck?
Come on! Face me, on!
Yeah.
Face me, on! Face me, on!
Dude,
Freeze! Thunder!
You'll be walking a blank.
Freeze! Thunder! On! Yeah! Heal!
Oh my god. He's like insanely. Why is he so durable? Fuck, dude. What do I do? All right, well, I want. I thought I had the block that gives me back health, but it doesn't look like I do. How far back is it gonna put me if I...
Come on! Face me, on! Face me, on! Face me, on! Face me, on! See ya! Face me, on! Face me, on! Gotcha! Prison foil! Face me, on! I'll guess you for it! You'll be walking up blank!
What the hell? It's just not restoring much? Well, shit. Oh my god, maybe...
Gotcha! Face me, on! Yeah! Face me, on! Yes, you will! You'll be walking blank! Prison foil? Here!
fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's whatever. I'm fine. I'm good. We'll just do that. That's fine. We're good. We're fine. We can do this.
Gotcha.
I don't understand when he does that. Like, when does he start a second, like, animation for that? Did I not hit him once? Oh my god! Are you serious? He wouldn't leave me alone! Oh my god, he's weak to fire? Oh, dude. I'm gonna continue. I think I could do it. I swear to God, I pressed it.
Gotcha. I'll get you for Face me on. Face me on.
Oh, I shouldn't have retried. I shouldn't have retried. Dude, why does he like take so... I've literally never seen a boss like take this little damage.
You'll be walking the plank.
Oh, that did heal me.
Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. I'll run you through. Prison foil. You'll be walking the plank. Have at you. Here. Prison foil. Here. Prison foil. Face me, Sean. Prison foil. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. Here.
Gotcha.
Face me, Sean. You scurvy brat. I'll run you through. Prison foil. Here. You'll be walking the plank.
That scared the shit out of me. There we go. He's so much like HP.
Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. I'll run you through. Here. Prison foil. You'll be walking the plank.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Face me, Sean.
Fuck! Dude!
Gotcha.
Scurvy brat. I'll run you through.
Stop.
Here. I'll get you for this. You'll be walking the plank. Here. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. You scurvy brat. I'll run you through. Face me, Sean. Face me, Sean. I'll get you for this. You'll be walking the plank. Here. Taste me, coward!
I lost my whole shit.
You scurvy brat! I'll run you through! Here! Prison foil!
Fuck. That's it. Fuck, oh my god.
I'll get you for this! You'll be walking You scurvy brat! Taste me, coward! Here! Taste me, coward! I'll get you for this! I'll run you through! Prison foil! Taste me, coward!
Bring it! It's over!
You blocked like all of that, chat?
Taste me, coward! Taste me! Taste me, coward! Taste me! You scurvy brat! You'll be walking the plank!
That was the longest boss fight of my entire life. I hate that. I hated that. That was awful. That took so long. And for what?
Leave me alone! Help me!
The way I probably should have leveled up. I should have leveled up.
It's a pirate's treasure chest.
God, I
Treasure.
hated that.
Yep, the same chest I told you about. We snatched it right from Hook's hiding place. Huh? How come it's empty?
Sorry, but we
Oh, that's
lost
right.
treasures.
Oh well. That's too bad.
That was awful, chat.
Who needs it? It was probably just full of dumb old jewels or doubloons or something anyways.
He doesn't
We
care.
can just put what we treasure in there instead. If you wanna.
Yeah, that's perfect. Instead of filling it up with jewels and gold and stuff, we'll put in what's truly special to us, the real riches.
Wooden swords.
What are you putting in, Ben?
I don't know. How about this?
He's gonna put the oh.
What is it?
It's just something that one of my best friends gave me.
You're gonna just leave it in another
So it's
world
like,
like
a
that?
keepsake, huh? You sure you want to part with something that's special?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep. I
Oh.
don't need it if I've got Terra and Aqua. Our best memories are still ahead.
Well,
All right then. Next time you visit, we'll have an even bigger chest waiting. Enough for all those treasures and lots more.
Okay, it's a deal. Oh, wait, Tink.
what the hell does she
I'm pretty
grab?
sure that belongs to a friend of mine. Do you think maybe I could hang on to it?
She's a bitch, I'll say it.
Tink,
I'll say it.
Thank you.
He's gone.
Oh, that's right. It makes him kind of just leave, huh? I forgot about that.
Don't worry, men. No matter where that light takes him, Ben'll always have friends waiting to meet him.
I don't know if I was tweaking just now, but like I swear to God, his eyes looked so weird. It's so funny how much better Ventus's animations are in the same, right? Bobby, I just brute forced the Captain Hook fight, and it probably took me like an hour. It was disgusting.
Gosh, the king must be pretty far away by
Whoa!
now.
Donald Goofy jump scare! Okay. Oh, that's right. We haven't been here yet as Ventus. That's not King Mickey.
Nope, doesn't look like him. Oh. Huh? Look, that feller's got the star shard the king borrowed.
King? Oh, you must be talking about Mickey. I saw him. What? Huh? Hey, take it easy.
Okay. Donald and Goofy jump scare. Okay, well, let me grab the chest over here. Me knowing there's a chest here. God. Oh, hey, look, guys. We have, did we need this a while ago? Didn't we need that? For a thing. For a thing, right? Yes. It was, oh, I can't do, Poison. Oh, Poison Edge? I haven't made Poison Edge yet. I guess I can make it. Is it gonna go into anything? I'd have to level up Treasure Raid. I don't even know what. My hour was recently robbed. Mine too. Actually, you know what? Poison Edge is black. Like, I haven't liked it so far, so yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's do this. Damn. I probably should have leveled up a little bit more, huh, chat? Y'all said I needed to be at least 21. I'm 20. It's 21. No, just barely. Oh my God, Kuya.
Yen said, sir, we just got a clue as to where the king might be.
Oh, did we go back in time, chat?
Ah, Ventus.
Huh?
Heracus has told me much about you. If I am not mistaken, you were ordered to return home.
Well, sir,
Wait a second.
No matter.
Did we go ahead in time?
Mickey has difficulty following directions, too.
Oh, okay. Dude, I hate when that
Where is
happens.
this clue to Mickey's
We go ahead. I always get confused, but it makes sense because it's spring and we spring forward. We get robbed. This is an L.
Sure. That's what I usually go by.
Please explain.
I ran into Mickey, but we got sent flying into the light. I don't know where he went. He wasn't in the same world as the one where I found that.
As I thought, Mickey has been hurling himself from one world to the next. That explains why I could not discern his location.
Yeah.
You can now, can you?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Are we just gonna casually bring Mickey in? Oh. fuck? Hello? Mickey?
Mickey!
The king! Where'd he go? Is he okay?
There is a dark and powerful force that is interfering with my magic.
Just tell us where the king is, Mr. Yen Sid, sir, and me and Donald will go right there and save him.
You two? That may not be adequate.
Oh.
But I'm the captain of the King's Royal Knights.
I love them. Also, why does... Did you guys see Donald's neck? Bro, literally, like, it was like...
I recognize the place we saw.
Slanted. He is in Arizona.
No, I owe him. Mickey saved me once, and I can't risk putting his friends in danger. Don't worry. I swear I'll bring him back safe.
Very well, Ventus. We will leave it to you.
You just let Ventus do his thing. Okay, so we gotta pick up with Donald and Goofy. All right, time to pick up the king, I guess. All right, actually, really quick, I gotta go piss, girl. I'll be right back. Also, it sucks because I forgot that we were going to have daylight savings. I'm so mad. Ugh. It is now 4 a.m. for me. Woof. Dude, it's 1 a.m. and I was like, I swear to God, it was 11 p.m. an hour ago. Help. All right, I'll be right back. I hate the time. I hate the time skip. This is bad. This is not good, chat.
Mickey!
Can I be so for real? What's up?
We meet again, boy.
Oh! Xehanort! Yucky. He got so many forehead wrinkles.
Master Xehanort.
Oh, that's right, chat.
Ah, yes. So you're starting to realize what you lost. Oh, but not for good. You had to lose in order to find.
Oh.
Now it can all be yours again if you only reach out and take it. Reclaim the part that left you. Clash with him. Pure light against pure darkness to forge the ultimate key. The all-powerful Keyblade!
Huh?
Keyblade?
Not the Keyblades you and I carry. Key, the most ancient letter. Some say Kai, but the meaning is the same. Death, the letter that spells endings.
And I have the power to make it?
Correct. Ericus knows it too. He knows exactly what you are.
The Master?
Haven't you ever wondered why he never granted you permission to leave his side, to grow stronger? Ericus was frightened of you.
No,
If you were
gaslit.
to learn the truth, realize what you are, he never trusted you. Why else would he keep you within his sight at all times?
He's an insane gaslighter. Well, I'm trying to figure out. You know what? I'm gonna shut up.
He never let me see other worlds, no matter how much I asked.
Go!
What?
Ask the man yourself. Learn the truth. And remember, you have a greater purpose.
Oh, Mickey!
What am I?
Uh-oh.
What has the Master been keeping from me all this time?
Oh? Are we in like the end game chat? Yes? Ooh. Dude, that time skip fucked me up though. I think we end it here, yeah. I think we just no. Because it's late, everybody is gonna be hit so hard in the morning. Finish tonight, you won't. I won't, Jelm. I won't. Because we went forward an hour and I totally forgot about that. I think it's probably better we just do this and then do some of Aqua's story tomorrow. I know we're basically at the end. Listen, I can be convinced to keep going, but I feel like everybody's getting kind of tired because we did go ahead an hour. So I don't know. It is 4 a.m. Yeah, it's 1:19 for me, and I'm just like, dude. Ugh. I think this is, yeah, no. I think tomorrow you guys are saying I need to grind, which is like, am I really? You know what? We'll just start early tomorrow and grind out the rest of Ventus's story and then maybe do Aqua's. You don't have to grind as much as you think. Oh, then I'll probably be fine. Anyways, let's do this then. You know, I see Spooky playing Tekken. Fuck it. We'll raid Spooky. I'll send you guys a Spooky. He literally just started his stream, so. Alrighty. I'll see you guys. Oh. Hold on. There we go. I will do the rest of this tomorrow. So let me save in the right save file first. And then we'll do the rest of this tomorrow, and I guess some of Aqua's story tomorrow as well, if we get that far. Okay. Anyways, have a good night, friends. I promise I won't start at like 9 p.m. my time.